In a steamy Colorado Springs motel, one woman's consuming need sparks a night of raw connection with two strangers. As boundaries dissolve in a dance of trust and desire, will she find the release she craves? Would you answer that call? If you're captivated by stories of vulnerability and intensity, hit like and subscribe. New here? Welcome. Let this tale pull you into its fire. The motel room on Nevada Avenue in Colorado Springs was a cocoon of dim light and faint pine scent, its worn curtains barely holding back the glow of streetlights. I stood under the shower's punishing stream, the water searing my skin, steam rising in heavy swirls that seemed to pulse with my own restless energy. I didn't turn it down, didn't shy away. I needed something, anything to quiet the gnawing ache that had taken root inside me, a fire that had smoldered for hours, perhaps days, growing louder with every breath. It wasn't a passing urge. It was a demand, a hunger that thrummed in my veins, urging me to seek release, to find a spark to soothe the storm within. My fingers moved with intent, deliberate at first, then frantic, searching for a rhythm that would ignite and hold, a pressure to unravel the tension coiling tighter in my core. My shoulder blades pressed against the cold, slick tiles, the contrast sharp against my heated skin, my breaths coming fast and shallow as a faint warmth flickered, only to slip away, taunting me like a shadow. A sharp exhale broke from my lips, edged with frustration, but I didn't stop. My skin was electric, every nerve awake, flushed with heat. Yet the release I chased remained elusive, a distant shore I couldn't reach. I shut my eyes, grasping for a vision, a memory, a face to carry me over, but my mind offered only fragments, blurred strangers, fleeting desires that crumbled into nothing. My wrists ached, my fingers strained, but the need was louder, a craving that clawed at me, a flame burning without end, begging for more than I could offer alone. The ache was a roar beneath my skin, a pressure too vast for my frame, threatening to spill over. It wasn't merely physical. It was a longing that swallowed every thought, every pulse, a void that deepened with every attempt to fill it. I growled, frustration surging, and twisted the shower knob off with a fierce jerk, the sudden silence stark, the steam heavy around me, oppressive. I snatched a towel from the rack, wrapping it tightly around my chest, the coarse fabric catching against my damp skin, anchoring me briefly. Stepping into the room, the air was cool, a sharp contrast to the fire still raging inside, the faint scent of cedar drifting through the open window, mingling with the room's musty undertone. The carpet scratched beneath my bare feet as I crossed to the bed, tossing a dry towel over the sheets to shield them from my dripping hair. I sank onto my back, the mattress groaning under me, its springs creaking. My hair clung to my neck, heavy and wet, my legs shifting restlessly beneath the towel knotted at my hips. My chest heaved with uneven breaths, my skin flushed, my body wired, aching in every fiber. This wasn't restlessness. It was a hunger, the kind that begins as a murmur and grows into a tempest, drowning out reason, consuming every heartbeat until it's all you are, all you can feel. My thoughts drifted to the men I'd seen at check-in, their faces vivid despite the hours since. Ethan, tall and wiry, older, with guarded eyes that avoided mine, but seemed to trace every detail. The way I shifted my weight at the desk, the curve of my wrist as I signed in, the way my hair fell over my shoulder. His restraint was tangible, a careful distance in his stance, but his gaze held a weight, heavy with unspoken curiosity. Lucas, broader, more open, with a smile that lingered too long, his eyes bold where Ethan's were cautious, his presence commanding the cramped lobby with an energy that felt like a dare. They hadn't said anything overt, didn't need to. Their glances, their subtle shifts, the way Ethan's hand tightened on the counter, the way Lucas's grin widened when I met his eyes, spoke volumes. They'd seen me, truly seen me, and I'd felt it. A spark that fed the fire within, a hint of something that might silence the storm. My gaze flicked to the phone on the nightstand, its dull plastic catching the faint glow of the bedside lamp, the room's only warmth in its stark simplicity. Was it too forward? Too brazen? Perhaps. But perhaps they could offer what I needed, could fill the emptiness that refused to relent. My fingers hovered over the keypad, pausing for a heartbeat, a flicker of hesitation. Then I lifted the receiver and dialed the front desk, the plastic cool against my ear. It rang twice, each tone stretching the anticipation, before Ethan's voice answered, steady and professional, the same measured tone from earlier. Front desk. Hi, I said, my voice soft, lingering, carrying more than I intended. I need some help in my room, a brief silence, charged with possibility, the quiet humming between us. What kind of help? He asked, his tone unchanged, but a subtle shift hinted at curiosity. I smiled, my lips brushing the receiver, my pulse climbing. It's hard to explain. Could you come see? Another pause, heavier, as if he were measuring my words. Then, be there soon? I hung up before he could say more. The receiver's click sharp in the quiet, a sound like a door swinging open, a choice made. Still wrapped in the towel, my skin warm and faintly damp, I stood, my fingers tracing the towel's edge at my thighs, feeling its rough texture, grounding me. For a moment, I considered changing, perhaps slipping into the loose shirt I'd packed, or the shorts folded in my bag, but I didn't move. The towel was enough, its simplicity a statement, a reflection of the need driving me, bold and unapologetic. I crossed to the door, each step deliberate, my pulse a steady drum, my body thrumming with anticipation. A knock came, firm, then a second, softer, as if testing the moment. I opened the door, the hallway's cool air brushing my skin, carrying a faint trace of the motel's cleaner. They stood there, framed in the dim corridor light. Ethan, slightly behind, his eyes scanning me, taking in the towel, my damp hair clinging to my shoulders, the soft glow of the room behind me. Lucas stood closer, his broad frame filling the doorway, his hand raised from knocking, his eyes bold, a spark of curiosity flickering within them. I tilted my head, a faint smile curving my lips, my voice calm but inviting. Come in, I said, stepping back, my movement slow, deliberate, drawing them into the space. Ethan moved first, his steps cautious, crossing the threshold with quiet resolve. Lucas followed, his gaze shifting between me and the room, as if searching for an anchor. I closed the door, the soft click sealing the moment, the world outside fading, the air heavy with unspoken promise. They lingered near the wall, their postures uncertain, hands in pockets or hovering at their sides, waiting for a signal, their eyes fixed on me. I moved between them, the towel brushing my thighs, their gazes tracking my every step, sharp and attentive, like they were reading a language only I spoke. I didn't call because something's broken, I said, my voice steady, cutting through the tension, a confession that laid my intent bare. I just couldn't be alone tonight. They didn't respond immediately, their silence a moment of weight, stretching the uncertainty. I chose action, stepping into the space between doubt and decision. I turned to Ethan, closing the distance, my gaze locking onto his, searching for the spark I'd seen earlier. He stood still, his breath shallow, his eyes guarded. So I lifted his hand slowly and placed it on my shoulder, feeling the warmth of his palm, the faint roughness of his fingers grounding me. He didn't pull away, his hand steady, a quiet acceptance. Lucas moved closer, his presence warmer, his hand finding my arm, then sliding to my waist, testing the space, his touch firmer, more assured. I smiled, letting them feel my certainty, my control, the way I'd shaped this moment to fit the fire inside me. With a slow breath, I let the towel slip, my shoulders bare, my skin alive in the cool air, the moment electric. I kissed Ethan first, his lips warm, the connection immediate, a quiet intensity that stirred me. His touch was careful, deeper than I'd expected, his hands finding my shoulders, grounding me. I pulled back, turning to Lucas, his gaze bold, and kissed him. The contact deeper, more urgent, his energy meeting mine with a spark that sent shivers through me. Back and forth I moved between them, deliberate, setting my pace, guiding their hands. Ethan's to my shoulders, Lucas's to my waist, anchoring me, fueling the fire within. "Shirts off," I said, my voice low, a command wrapped in invitation. They paused. Then Ethan nodded, pulling his shirt over his head, his lean frame catching the light. Lucas followed, his broad chest and strong shoulders filling the space, his fingers restless with eagerness. I stood watching, savoring their attention, their eyes fixed on me, the moment mine to shape. When they reached for me, their hands tentative, I raised a hand, my voice firm. "Not yet," I said, holding my ground. I knelt slowly, my hands resting on their shoulders, my breath steady. A promise I'd keep. I looked at Ethan, his gaze tense, my touch lingering, keeping him waiting. His breath caught, his fingers threading gently into my hair, holding, not pulling. His body taut. I stayed in control, my touch slow, deliberate, teasing. I moved to Lucas, his anticipation clear, his body tight, his gaze locked on mine. My hand traced his frame, feeling his warmth, then leaned closer, giving him the same slow attention, keeping him steady, keeping him waiting. I shifted between them, my focus sharp, one hand on each, the air heavy with their quickened breaths, their tightening grips. But inside, I felt hollow, their touch stirring them, but not me. Their reactions fed something in them, but my ache remained, unsoothed, a void I couldn't fill. I stood, my voice sharp. "Bed." We moved together, the sheets rustling, limbs brushing, the room shrinking to our space, the air warm and close. I leaned back against the pillows, guiding, not yielding, pulling Lucas closer, my fingers drawing him in, my touch an invitation. He moved carefully, his touch gentle, exploring with quiet focus, his breath warm. I closed my eyes, trying to let his presence unravel the storm within. But my heart stayed alert, waiting for something more. Ethan stayed close, and I reached for him, my lips brushing his, weaving them into a rhythm, their touch a shared moment. The room filled with breath and movement, a soft sound of closeness, their hands steady, responding to my cues. But my need burned louder, frustration rising, not from them, but from the ache that wouldn't ease, a hunger demanding more. I urged Lucas closer, pulled Ethan nearer, my touch pleading for them to push me further, my breath a silent cry. I pushed harder, but no spark came, the release I needed out of reach. Frustration sharpened. I sat up, my voice firm. "I need more." I settled into Lucas's lap, feeling his warmth, his hands hesitant at my waist. I took charge, moving slowly, my hands on his shoulders, setting my rhythm, my breath steadying. I leaned in, kissing Ethan, trying to bridge the gap, to find the spark. They gave everything, touch, presence, energy, but the fire stayed low, the ache burning stronger. I locked eyes with them, my voice low. "Don't hold back. Push me past my limit." Their eyes shifted, restraint fading, a spark breaking through. They moved swiftly, their hands firm, guiding me with purpose, confident. They pulled me to the center, on my knees, their presence closing in, the air tight with focus. Lucas moved behind me, his hands steady, adjusting, then closer, deliberate, firm. I leaned into Ethan, his hand in my hair, guiding me, his touch intense. I met them, my hands gripping the sheets, my breath quickening, caught in their rhythm, their movements a contrast, one forward, one back, keeping me steady. When Ethan pulled back, I gasped. Lucas held me tighter, his rhythm deep, pulling me in. I met their intensity, my body moving, my heart racing. They turned me, placing me on my back, my head resting, my body open, every moment theirs. I looked up, the world blurred, my senses swimming. Lucas moved closer, steady, his rhythm grounding me. My hands gripped the sheets, fingers tight, the fabric taut. Ethan leaned in, his touch urgent, pulling me closer, his presence strong. I couldn't think, only feel, every sensation alive, every pulse overwhelming, the room electric, a sound caught in my chest, my body trembling, every nerve awake, every breath a struggle. Then it broke, a wave surging through me, fierce, unstoppable. I arched, my body shaking, a cry breaking free, raw, tears falling, my vision blurring. They didn't stop. Lucas guiding me through, Ethan urging me on, their presence alive. I felt them shift, my senses a haze of breath and motion. Lucas lay back, pulling me across his chest, my legs weak, his hands steadying me. Ethan's touch woke me, deliberate, a sharp sensation that stirred me fast. He moved, careful, pulling me into a rhythm that felt right. Lucas beneath, guiding, Ethan behind, grounding, their rhythm tight, pulling me in. I reached for Lucas, my fingers catching, my sounds raw, a plea for more. Ethan's lips grazed my shoulder, sparking shivers, waking something deep. My head fell back, my body trembling, thoughts fading, alive with their touch. Please, I whispered, my voice soft. More. A need to hold this moment. They lifted me, Lucas's hands beneath my shoulders, Ethan's at my back, their strength holding me, weightless. Caught between them, my head fell back, my breath gone, my eyes wide with wonder. Their rhythm consumed me, erasing all before, their grip tightening, keeping me steady, their intensity a force that overwhelmed. I cried out, raw, every sensation a pulse, a wave that consumed me. A second rush broke through, fierce, tearing through my body. I sobbed, my body shaking, my voice raw, no control left. They didn't stop, their rhythm steady, their breaths sharp, their hands gripping, their moment urgent. I felt them break, their voices low, trembling, their intensity alive with mine, a shared moment that bound us. They held me, lowered me gently. I lay back, trembling, breathless, my limbs heavy, my vision a haze. My body was alive, no ache left, no fire burning, my heart quiet, a peace that enveloped me. I needed nothing, my soul whole, my quiet complete. That moment lingered, not just the intensity, but the surrender, the trust that wove us together, a connection that silenced the storm within. So, I'm asking you, if a need consumed you, would you chase it to the edge or hold back? Share your thoughts below. I'm reading every one. If these raw, evocative stories resonate, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for listening. Please share your thoughts, like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more.